All right. Good evening and welcome back. Welcome back to F1 Broke Boys Tier 2. Round 2 of the season. Last week we were in Austin. This week we're in Qatar. The Losail circuit. Yeah, we got Bruce Wayne, our championship leader. Not even on the grid, but leading the championship anyway. Ahead of QPEF, who isn't even on the grid either. So top 2, both reserve drivers. P9 and P3. It was quite an interesting race last week. Wet throughout the entire race. Made it difficult for many. And easier for others, but don't think we're gonna see any rain tonight. It should make up for a different outcome. We're about to get qualifying underway. Are we? Oh, just added another minute for good measure. But it's qualifying time. There we go. 18 minutes on the clock. Everyone to set their best lap time to get them as high as possible on the grid. That's how it works. Who's going to be the first one out on track? I see the V-Carb mechanics walking out of the garage. Also, Ryda is out on mediums. Their teammate QPEF finished a runner-up in the previous round. They're out on track as well on softs. But it's Charles out in front. He is the first one to be on track. The IGN following closely. Qatar, one of the easier tracks to warm up your tires, because all the sweeping corners to the left, to the right, especially to the right, to get that front left nicely heated up. Checking real quickly, it is on strict. Thought it would have been invalid, but got lucky, I guess. Charles now into the final sector, which is almost completely flat out. These 3 turns are flat out, and this one to the left, just a little lift, might even be flat if the setup is right. And into the final corner, which is a braking zone. And the pit lane to the right, which Charles is going into. Pit lane changed from last year's game. Now it's back on the start-finish straight instead of right before the final corner. But then Ryder's going to be the first one to try and set a lap time on the mediums. Into sector 2, probably the most technical part of the lap. Oh, bit of a connection issues. But keeping it within the white lines, that's all that matters. Right now in qualifying, a little lift going into Sector 3. Let's see what they can do. It is going to be the first lap time on the board. The line is way earlier than last year, and it's at 23.1. That quickly gets replaced by IGN, who goes into the 22s, and Josh Boschman, who goes into the 21s. So 3 drivers in the 21s, 22s and 23s. And Josh Boschman ahead by 0.4 of a second to now Skoker, but Bruce Wayne replaces Josh Boschman, making it a Williams front row lockout at the moment with its 21.8. That's a really solid banker lap. Already about to start his lap as well. Sean is now rounding the final corner. Across the line, can he get into the 21s? Not quite. 22.0. It's going to be the time for the Red Bull driver behind Alpha High Wall, who's gone at 22.004. So not quite in the 21s, but still very close behind the Williams drivers. See what Wardy can do in the new HP Ferrari. Some beautiful logos. Branding. Absolutely does not suit the red of the Ferrari, but oh well. Now into the final corner. Design has got up to P7. Was on the podium last race. Wardy across the line to the fastest time with a 21.7. Was a bit unexpected, but these 1.5 tenths almost clear right now of the two Williams drivers, of Bruce Wayne and Josh Boschman. Charles has invalidated. He went out first on track a few minutes ago. Then came back into the pit lane. He's gone out again and he's invalidated his lap. So not the session Charles would have hoped for, but he's continuing on nevertheless to try and start another lap time. Same for Haza at the moment. And they're also on the mediums. One of quite a few drivers to not have set a lap time yet. Teammate as well, Vortex Legion. He's very close to the back of the Alpine in front. I think it might have cost him a little bit of time then. He slightly lifted off, but it has cost a bit of time. Across the line, 28.5. His teammate Haza across the line into the 24, so quite in the same ballpark as the rest. And again, it's only the banker lap, and looks like Charles has invalidated again. Not quite going the way he would have wanted. And a straight back into the pit lane. Now let's take a look at Jesus in the Mercedes. Yet there's a lap time with 10 minutes remaining on the clock. He's just started his flying lap. Whoa, bit of a slide coming out of the right-hander. End of sector 1. Nice and steady throughout the rest of the lap. Now the last sector is all about not invalidating. Keep the foot planted to the floor and hope for the best. Bit of a white line through the penultimate corner, but still should be pretty decent as a first lap. Cross the line, and it is pretty decent as a first lap. 22.2 puts him nicely into the top 10 in P7. Behind Vortex Legion, who has just got into the top 6. Finally found a lap. 22.0 as Josh Boschman goes to the top by 1,000th of a second ahead of Wardy. 1:21.733 ahead of Wardy with a 1:21.734. So it's already incredibly tight at the top, as we usually see in Tier 2. And today is no different. Unless Wardy can pull out a magical lap. Well, magical lap is there, but it's from Bruce Wayne with a 21.354. That's 4/10 quicker than his teammate or anyone else. So that's raised the bar quite a bit then for the rest of them. Right, trying to take the pit lane, pit entry, but it's not there anymore. It's changed as Cannon has gone up into P10 as her first lap. 2-1. Enough to put her ahead of Skolker. And Jesus. Well, let's try again then with Charles. He's tried multiple times before, but he still hasn't gotten a lap time on the board. Same for Lil D the 1. They're struggling as well. It's also invalidated their attempt. Riding on board with the V-Carb. Just to keep it within the white lines, and he's not done it again, and that's another invalidated lap for Charles, who is still stuck at the back in P19 without a lap. And with only 6 minutes on the clock. Starting to scratch the back of their head. As they need to get a lap in. Probably only has one more attempt left to try it. It's been a disastrous qualifying session so far for our Charles in the V-Carb. I think he's gonna start another lap, so he might have 2 more attempts then. He pulls in at the end of the next lap. Let's see if he can keep it within the white lines this time. Now into turn 4, where it went wrong on the previous lap. Let's see, can he get it done? He can. taking a bit more cautiously this time. Now into the hairpin of turn 6. Job's not done yet. Still half a lap remaining. Coming out of turn 10 and 11, big slide as well for good measure. Now into the flat out turns 12, 13 and 14. Purple sector 2, not sure if that's correct, but we'll find out soon enough as he will cross the line in a few moments time of playing with the track limits on the edge there. Turn 15 I think it is. With all the pressure he's managed to get it done. He's got a lap time on the board and it's a 22.4. Puts him right behind his teammate Paul's Rain P15. But he's got a lap on the board and with 4 minutes remaining should be able to squeeze in another if he gets to the pit lane in time. But might have run out of fuel. So could become a bit of a problem then. Asa trying to improve while his teammate Vortex Legion has just improved by half a second to get into the top 3 with a 21.5, and Wardy in the meantime has improved as well to a 21.4, so now it's only half a tenth difference between Wardy and Bruce Wayne at the top, and Vortex Legion is 2 tenths behind them. Asa pulls into the pit lane, was on for an improvement, but is gonna get new tires try and improve on the later lap, and I don't think Charles is gonna make it in time. Only 2.5 minutes on the clock. Still got an entire sector to get it back into pits. I'm afraid it's not gonna be any better than P15. Teammate is on a lap right behind, but invalidates as well. Disastrous session so far for the Visa Cash App RB team, and as Pulse Ray pulls into the pit lane, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do another lap with 2 minutes remaining. QPEP has gone up to P4 with a 21.6, so Josh Boschman now down to P5 as the majority of the cars make their way out of the pit lane. Well, Josh Boschman apparently did not make his way out of the pit lane, because he's back into the garage. One and a half minutes to go. And Ted Cannon is going to be the first one to try and improve. Taking a look into turn 1. Trying to get it as close to the apex as possible. Slight braking for turn 3, then a flat out kink to the right. And to the tricky turns 4 and 5, where you can easily run wide and invalidate your lap time, like we've seen before in this session at the end of sector 1, and it's not an improvement for Tent Cannon. 1.2 seconds off. Bruce Wayne and Vortex Legion are out. Not sure what's going on all here, but quite a few drivers are disconnecting for some reason. looks time there's been a bit of a problem with the connection and the EA servers. Anyway, qualifying is over. Bruce Wayne is on pole position, but Wardy is on a lap. But he's invalidated, so he's not going to improve. So I think Bruce Wayne might just have snatched that pole position. Quarter across the line, improves by just one position ahead of Mitch up to P18, and IGN is at the moment in P10, headed up into P9. Skoker up to P9 and now into the top 10 with a 22.018. Ryder is improving quite a bit as well. 0.3 of a second. Across the line into the top 3 with a 21.5 out of nowhere. Bit of a slipstream as well from the house in front. That's a huge lap for the Aston Martin. But it's Bruce Wayne on pole position in Qatar. And besides him on the front row, it's gonna be Wardy. Only half a tenth of a second behind. Ryder in P3 ahead of Vortex Legion. Ends up in 4th place. And Big Pickle and QPF in P5 and P6. Josh Boschman in P7 with some connection issues. Alpha Highball in 8th. Sean and Skokler round out the top 10. Only 0.6 of a second between P1 and P10. IGN in 11th. Head of 10 Cannon, Jesus, Pulse Ray, Charles, Suzuki Shine, Lil Dita1, Haza, Scorer, Mitch. Finish off the results of qualifying 1.5 seconds between the entire grid. Pretty impressive. Clear night skies, so certainly no rain expected. As you would expect from circuit is located in the middle of the desert. In its time, we will get this race going. One should be back in the lobby. Hope we don't get any more issues during the race. There should be an easy one stop. Medium hard, hard medium, something like that. Already see the softs being used. So due to the tire wear and tire temperatures. The incredibly fast circuit. Wat is dit nou weer? Wat is dat nou weer? Scenario. Erover. Yo, commentator. Altijd al geweest. Anyway, should get this race going in a minute time. It's time to go. No race. Race this time. Anyway. Here we go then. 5 red lights are on. Bruce Wayne on the mediums. Can he get the launch? It lights out and we're on the way, and it's a pretty good start for Bruce Wayne, but Wardy is there on the inside, not anymore. He slots in behind the Williams. And Wardy in P2 ahead of Cupid Vortex Legion in P4. Josh Boschman has made up 2 places already. Though it's wheel to wheel with Alpha 1. Has to cede the position. Down to P6 it is for the Williams driver. Someone's off in the background. And Skull Killer is off in Sector 1. He spun on the hard. Dramatic start from the Ferrari driver. The internet's absolutely cooked, but gonna try and continue on. Either way, Bruce Wayne is still out in front and leading this race, and well, the majority of the grid on the mediums. Only Scorter, Skull Killer, Pulse Ray and QBF are on the hards. Got the usual headset disconnection again. The worst moments in time. The top 4 has remained the same as we head into lap 2 of this race. DRS will be enabled fast lap of the race to Bruce Wayne, but Wardy is closing the gap. For the next time we come around, he will be able to open the rear wing and try and go for the move. So Cupid is the first one of the hard runners. Now it's just key to try and stay with the top, try and stay within the DRS. We'll have the advantage later on as Josh Boschman has had a moment. He was ghosted for a second. He's now down to P7. He overtaken by IGN in the Mercedes. I think he had a bit of a moment coming out of the hairpin of turn 6. Track limit is going to be a big thing as well on this track. See probably a lot of penalties. Now lap 2 is in this award. He's going to try and go for it. He certainly has fast lap of the race. DRS open and he's going to go for the move. And he's up into P1. Got past Bruce Wayne and we've got a new race leader on lap 3. As Wardy has taken the lead. IGN struggling a bit to hold on to the cars in front, with Josh Boschman right behind him. Yellow flags are out, and I think Mitch is one of the involved. He's dropped down the order down to P19. Josh Boschman is having a look around the outside, but that is not going to work out. He has to slot in back behind the Mercedes. And there is your first 3-second time penalty. And it's first of many. in this 29 lap long race. Bosman right up the rear wing of the Mercedes, so close to the back. Charles also gets a 3-second time penalty already. Pass up on the race once again for Wardy, but is Bruce Wayne gonna try and go for the lead? He is up the inside into turn 1, and Bruce Wayne back into the lead on lap 4. As Vortex Legion has got past Ryder and is now up into the podium positions. And Ryder is under a bit of pressure from Alpha well from behind in P5. Now forming a bit of a train to Josh Bushman and IGN. Sean has now got up into P8. Got past the Aston Martin, who is of course on the hard, so shouldn't be a surprise. Bit late on the brakes though, nearly into the back of Sean, and Alpha Wall has already got a 3-second time penalty on lap 4. It's gonna be a long race after that. Yellow flags once again out in turn 6, and this time it's Haasa who's had a moment. Scroll down the order down to P20. Right, and not within the DRS range, or barely within. Only a few thousandths of a second is the difference. And that is Suzuki's iron has gone off as well. This lap was on the podium last week, but it's he's gonna need a miracle to be back on the podium at the end of this race. Now down to last place, P20. Quite a few seconds off the rest of the grid. Alpha 1 now up to P4. In the background we see Cube battling it out with Big Pickle in the McLaren. The last few spots inside the top 10. It's becoming a massive DRS train. Oh, and that's a penalty for Ryder. All coming one by one. P4 all the way down to P13 is in this DRS train. The top 3 are clear. Try and use each other to push away. Look at the train. So many cars within such a close distance of each other. And Josh Bosman is having a look, using a bit of ERS to try and get past the Aston Martin. He's not the only one, this IGN is following him as well. And he gets past as well as does Sean. So Ryder losing 3 positions in the process. Josh Bosman nearly into the back of Alpha well, but just able to avoid the back of the Sauber. But Ryder now down to P8, so not a great lap for the Aston Martin. But it's a massive train, so he'll probably have plenty of opportunities to try and come back. Sean is having a little look around the outside of IGN, might go for the switchback, surely not side by side to this corner. And he thinks the better of it and slots back behind. And another 3-second time penalty. Where he got 7 drivers with the penalty on lap 7. And here comes Josh Bosman with the help of Slipstream and DRS, while his teammate is switching places with Wardy. Wardy now in the lead of this race. Josh Bosman now up at the P4. side by side are Jesus and 10th Cannon, and Jesus will have to go the long way around the outside. He's gonna try to do it, but doesn't quite find the grip, although still having a look. But eventually it's the Sauber that is staying ahead, but it's a spin from 10th Cannon, or half spin, under braking, the backhand completely stepping out. And down to P13 and crucially out of the DRS train. And it's going to be a long, difficult race as a result of that. Under braking, backhand just stepping out and then trying to correct it the other way. And lucky enough that it wasn't a full spin, because Jesus was just about able to avoid. IGN has got past Alpha Ball as well. Alpha Ball is struggling a little bit because Josh Boschman has already created a 1.5 second gap to these cars in P5 and P6, while Bruce Wayne and Wardy are fighting it out in the middle part of the lap instead of the usual overtaking spot, and that is the main straight, and Bruce Wayne back into the lead on lap 8. There's going to be a lot of switching around over the course of this race. Where you are on the final lap is what matters the most. Of course. First driver to pull into the pit lane is Haasa in the Haas. And he's gone on to a set of hards. Lap 8, which is quite early. Could try to perform an undercut. But this time Wardy is staying behind. Try to save the ERS a bit. We're fighting it out once again. Alpha Wall trying to go around the outside of IGN. Oh, and there's contact, and IGN spinning out into the wall. Lucky to even be in the race, but damage to the front wing. And it was Alpha Wall on the outside as IGN retires on track. That's not entirely what you want to do, but Alpha Wall on the outside. Just a little bit of contact between the two, and it sent the Mercedes spinning off into the barrier and out of this race. Bruce Wayne has almost got a second advantage to the Ferrari of Wardy, but he's just about within the DRS margin, and he's now going to close the gap back down to around half a second at the end of the straight. Well, 3/10 even. Looks like the hard tires are slowly coming alive. Meanwhile, Alpha Ball is not just losing one position, might be even two. She's going wheel to wheel with the McLaren, who's the long way around the outside, and that's a nice move if they can finish it off. Contact once again, and the McLaren has lost out 3 positions as a result. Alpha Wall down to P8 as Jesus sends it up the inside. More contact between these two. Oh, and Charles almost going round as well. A bit of carnage at the moment, but eventually they sort themselves out. It's Alpha Wall and P7. 10th Cannon has got back into this DRS train. It's now back into the top 10. on to lap 11 of this race, and it's Bruce Wayne still out in front. With Barty and Vortex Legion following closely behind. And Josh Bushman is trying to close the gap. It's down to 1.5. So he's doing a good job to try and get close to the cars around 1.1. So if we can nail this lap, use a bit of ERS, we can try and get within the second. Make it a 4-car battle for the win, including 2 Williams drivers who could maybe help each other and work together. In the meantime, we've seen another pit stop right as boxed for a set of hearts. Try and go for an undercut. And Josh Borsman has closed the gap down to 0.6 of a second. Didn't even have to use that much ERS. So Josh Borsman has clearly got the pace at the end of this stint. I wonder who's going to be the first one to pull into the pit lane. And it is Josh Borsman. He's caught up to the back of them. Now he's pulling straight into the pit lane. Ooh. Just about able to slow it down. On lap 12 he's gonna put on a set of hearts. Try and make it to the end. If there's no safety car or any form of neutralization. Bit of a lock-up from Charles, who's in a Sauber sandwich at the moment. Jesus has found a way past Alva Wall. It's now up into the top 6. Wardy and Bruce Wayne into the pit lane as we start lap 13, and Vortex Legion is staying out for at least one more lap. And where are they going to come out compared to Josh Boschman, who's just about to round the final corner? That's right on board. We'll see 2 cars emerge from the pit lane on the right. There they are, and might be Pulse Ray just in between them, but although Pulse Ray is trying to go around the outside of Wardy, can Josh Bushman go? No, he's had a bit of a moment mid-corner, and Wardy and Pulse Ray are fighting it out. Wardy on cold tires, able to squeeze out in front. He's no longer within the DRS range though of Bruce Wayne. Oh, my big slide once again. Trying to heat up these tires. Especially the hards is very difficult. Looks like the undercut has not quite worked for Josh Boschman. Also got a slower car in between the 2 of them. Have to get past as quickly as possible. As our new race leader Vortex Legion is pulling into the pit lane. Now on lap 14. And where is he gonna come out compared to the rest? And number 99 Haas coming out of the pit lane, and has awarded a bit of a slipstream from his teammate. So Skokonen might have played a bit of a role then between for the lead. Bruce Morty is back in the DRS range, Vortex Legion. has come out behind this entire group. He's also behind Josh Boschman. The Skoker and Pulse Ray still continuing on the hards. Skoker is in between Wardy and Josh Boschman. That's helping the Ferrari just a little bit. But Josh Boschman is trying to find a way past. Yeah, thinks the better of it, and now he sees the gap growing to the cars in front. Wheel to wheel through this section, certainly don't want to be doing that. He's losing a lot of time. 3 seconds already. And Josh Boschman sees the wind slowly slipping away. Meanwhile, his teammate is under pressure from Wardy once again. And is Wardy gonna try and go for the lead? Not quite, as Bruce Wayne also has the DRS. Josh Boschman finally clears the Ferrari of skull color. The damage has already been done. 2.9 seconds. Wardy has skull color also fighting it out now with Vortex Legion. Having a look up the inside of turn 4. And he gets the job done. Although, cuts the track, and that's a 3-second time penalty. And that's absolutely going to ruin his chances of a podium finish if the cars in front don't get a penalty. That's suboptimal for the Haas. Josh Boschman is closing the gap though, because Bruce Wayne and Wardy are getting held up by Skorter in front. We're still going on these 14 lap old mediums, hards I should say. Tupev is now pulling into the pit lane from the hards, and they are gonna go onto the mediums with the 14 laps to go. Bruce Wayne's pulling out, and he is going back into the virtual lead, but it's Wardy as well. They're going wheel to wheel for the lead into turn 1, and Wardy has taken the double, and he's into the lead on lap 16, back ahead of the Williams. Can Josh Boschman try and close the gap down back to within the DRS range? At the moment he still needs to find a way past the Alpine. .13 laps to go, and it's Wardy out in front, and Bruce Wayne still following closely behind. Oh, what has happened to Josh Boschman? He's had a big moment coming out of the final corner. Vortex Legion has got past as Skorter pulls into the pit lane. What has gone on for the Williams? Not the first moment in this race. Has he just lost it on his own again, or did he make contact with the Alpine, I wonder? But he's now down to P4 once again, sliding around 2 seconds behind Vortex Legion. What is going on? Now closing the gap back, but his chances of a win are surely down the drain. It's now more than 5 seconds behind the two leaders. Was looking so strong earlier on in this race at the end of his medium stint. Now after his pit stop it all started slipping away. Now gonna be under pressure from Sean, goes wide, gets a penalty, and it's all going from bad to worse for Josh Boschman. Really hate to see it. And here comes Sean as Bruce Wayne retakes the lead of this race. Sean has got past Josh Boschman. Sean is now into P4. That is probably what Josh Boschman is going to be fighting for in this race. I don't see him close the gap without at least a safety car. Besides that, he's also under pressure from QPF behind, and they are on the mediums. They're going to be much quicker. So podium still very much possible, although track limits won't help with that. Driver second in the championship, but the championship leader is also the leader in this race, but for how much longer? Because Wardy is gonna have a look, gonna have a go once again, although he's staying behind now, saving a lot of ERS in the process. And Bruce Wayne holds on to that lead as Josh Boschman finds a way past Sean again to put him back into the top 4. Ryder has retired from the session. Two Saubers go wheel to wheel in sector 1 with Tent Cannon around the outside and up at the P9 ahead of her teammate Alpha High Wall. It's a McLaren Sauber fight for the last few positions inside the top 10. I want to say last few points positions, but top 15 scores points this season. The ERS open once more. 10 laps to go. And this time Wardy is going to go for it, and he's going to retake the lead on lap 20. Wardy back out in front. And here comes Tent Cannon as they go wheel to wheel into turn 1. McLaren on the outside. Managing just about to hold on to that P8. Bit of a moment, the Tent Cannon is trying to go the long way around the outside. Surely not. Still trying to have a go as Alpha High Wall sends it up the inside of his teammate, forcing her off track as well in the process. Ooh, almost 3 wide there. And it's all kicking off between the two Saubers here. Instead of fighting the McLarens, they're now fighting each other for P9. And Big Pickle has now created a bit of a gap, which is almost a second advantage. QPF has found the way past Sean and is now up into the top 5. but with a 6-second time penalty, that is gonna hurt at the end of this race. Nine laps to go, and Bruce Wayne and Wardy still both in contention for the win, very close behind each other, as they have been throughout the entirety of this race. Wardy once again edging closer to the back, but choosing to stay behind and save the battery all for that final lap, which is going to be crucial. Meanwhile, Josh Boschman, Cupid and Sean have closed the gap to Vortex Legion. The gap is now under a second, and Vortex Legion is also slowly closing in on the top two. This might not be a two-horse fight on track. Of course, with the penalties applied, it still will be Bruce Wayne versus Wardy. But you never know, they could get their a 3-second time penalty as well, with only 7 laps to go in this race. On to lap 23, and once again Wardy will close the gap. Probably not going to go for the move like the lap before. So the car emerges from the pit lane. That's a lapped car. Suzuki Giant has pitted for a set of softs. Oh, and Wardy has had a huge moment. He might have been caught a bit off guard there by the lapped car Suzuki Giant, and now the gap has grown to almost a second. And this could be absolutely crucial in this race if he doesn't close the gap back down. But did the Alpine influence his lines through turns 1 and 2? Suzuki Giant is being a bit of a maniac for these leaders. He finally lets Bruce Wayne go. Now creating a bit of a buffer between Bruce Wayne and Wardy will have DRS of him, so shouldn't be too bad then for Wardy's side. That was a close call. Now we've got the entire top 6 within DRS of each other with 6 laps to go. This is going to be very exciting. Final few laps. Wardy's back in the mix. 6 tenths behind Bruce Wayne. Look at that. Six drivers from 5 different teams are fighting it out for the win on track. Also got 8 different teams in the top 10. This is pretty insane. Only the Alpines and the V-Carbs. not find themselves inside the top 10. Oh, watch out with the track limits. It's so easy to just go a little bit too wide as QBEF is having a go at Josh Boschman in the final corner. And across the line the Aston Martin is up into the top 4. And now ahead of Josh Boschman with 5 laps to go. But Josh Boschman is trying to go for the counter attack. Oh, bit of contact between the two. And that's Josh Boschman down to P5. Raining penalties left, right and center. It's not raining out of the skies. But it's raining penalties here in Qatar. Bit wide there from Josh Boschman, probably on the edge of another 3-second time penalty. Has to be careful now. We've got 4 laps remaining in this race. Bruce Wayne has got the ERS advantage at the moment. So there's still 4 laps for Wardy to try and refill the battery. With the juice as Suzuki Cyan has been disqualified for too many track limit penalties. How many did he have? 30 seconds time penalty. Oh my goodness. Oh, what's happened to Charles? He's retired in pit lane for some reason. But imagine being disqualified for too many penalties. That's quite hilarious. It was already a difficult day for Suzuki Shine, but it's ended on lap 26. The retirement of Charles has promoted his teammate into the points. 1 point to be exact. Paul's Ray in P15. Three laps to go. Still 6 cars going at it, and Wardy is well not gonna go for it again. I think he's gonna stay behind until the last lap, and then he's gonna strike. Another 3-second time penalty for QPEF, and that's not gonna help them out in finishing any higher in the top 6. 9 seconds penalty. So it would be dropped down to P6. The rest of them all got 3-second time penalties. Except for the top 2, of course. Bruce Wayne and Wardy still without a penalty. Not the only ones though. Jesus and Tent Cannon also without a time penalty in P7 and P8. Also Scorpion and Skullkiller, and it's not the first time we see that from Skullkiller. I usually see him not get any penalties. And this week's no different. Albeit he's in P14. Only 2 points at the moment, although I think he could finish, could definitely finish ahead of Mitch. And Wardy has been overtaken by Vortex Legion on the penultimate lap of this race. Vortex Legion on the inside of Wardy, and they're going wheel to wheel. And this is playing into the hands of Bruce Wayne. He's trying to go around the outside, Oh, they almost collide. Josh Bushman is having a look on the inside. That was so incredibly close to see both of them spinning off track. Josh Bushman now have to deal with the Aston Martin through turns 4 and 5. And the Aston getting pushed off a little bit. Now going wheel to wheel with Sean, who's having a go around the outside of turn 6 to get himself promoted into the top 5. But that was so close. A bit too close for comfort for Vardy and Josh Bushman. The Vortex region is almost out of the DRS. Bruce Wayne has to deploy everything now to get out of the DRS to try and secure the race win, but the gap's now shrinking again to 9/10. But Bruce Wayne, if he's lucky, could get a DRS himself, which would massively help, and he will get a DRS himself. It's Paul's Ray getting out of the way, but that's played into the hands of Bruce Wayne onto the final lap of this race. Vardy is in P3, but with the penalties from the Vortex region, he will be back into P2. But Bruce Wayne has the best cards. He's leading without a penalty, and Vardy, his closest rival, is in P3, but the car in between the two of them. And our championship leader is on course for another win. Just needs to keep it within the white lines. All he has to do, 8/10 behind, no real pressure. There's no real opportunities left for the cars behind. Start-finish straight is too short to have a run to the line. And the gap's too big for anyone else to close. They've battled all throughout the entire race, Bruce Wayne and Vardy, but there's only one man who can come out on top. He's won it all, and he's gonna win in Qatar as well. Bruce Wayne wins the Qatar Grand Prix. Vardy has to settle for second place in the end, but it's a hard-fought battle with all the others. It's been a great race. Vortex Legion finishing on the podium for Haas. Josh Bushman making it a 1-4 for Williams with a huge amount of points for the team. Sean in the end P5, and Jesus just about snatched that P6 away from QBF by only half a second because of all that battling. 10th Cannon P8, solid points for Sauber as well, as Alpha I1 finishing in P10. With a big pickle in between for the McLaren. Lil D the 1 in P11, Scorter in P12, ahead of Mitch in P13, but that will soon become P14 as Skullkiller crosses the line. With Pulse Ray scoring the final point in P15. But Bruce Wayne is victorious after a back-to-back win. The rifle today has been given to Scorter, not sure why. But Bruce Wayne and Williams have done it again. All celebrating for the top 3 after what has been a great race. Bruce Wayne and Vardy, P1 and P2 on the grid, P1 and P2 over the finish line. Vortex Legion P4, Josh Bushman, Sean Jesus, QPF 10th Cannon, Big Pickle Alpha Wall, Lil D the 1, Scorter, Mitch, Skullkiller, Pulse Ray and Hassa is the final finisher in P16. Unfortunately not enough for a points finish. 4 retirements, Charles, Ryder IGN and Suzuki Zain, who set the fastest lap of the race, but is in dead last after being disqualified with for the track limit penalties, 30 seconds penalty. ridiculous. This result will certainly see Bruce Wayne extend his championship lead. Tupev was second in the championship, finished 7th. Suzuki Zion was third in the championship. He finished down in 20th out of this race, disqualified. Jesus finished in P6, so Bruce Wayne getting some really important points. It is already massive for the championship. Either way, that's it for tonight. And next week, I'm not sure if we're going to be back next week. Depends on the Euros. If it does get cancelled for next week, it will be moved to a later date, which is the Spanish Grand Prix, and we will be back in a few weeks' time. But anyway, that's it for tonight, and I'll see you next time when we return for Broke Boys Tier 2 Championship. Anyway, good night, enjoy your evening, adios, ciao ciao.